You really think I'm that stupid?
I understand you have an obligation to bring me in, but you can brighten up a little. It's over. So, shall we get going? I'd rather not dawdle. You know, I'm actually looking forward to seeing Miss White again.
All right, let's go. Hand over the gun.
I think I'd rather hold on to it, if you don't mind. What do you say? Hey! I'm sure Miss White will be pleased. Such a reliable pup. I understand why she'd want to keep you around.
You're under arrest. You'll be given a trial in front of your peers. And your punishment will follow.
Alright. So, I was thinking maybe killing him won't be... let's just see what happens.
I know. But we have to do something.
Are you fucking kidding me?
When is this thing
Are
happening?
we sure he's coming?
Yes, you'll have an opportunity to... He's back.
The Crooked Man.
Thank God.
Motherfucker.
Are you okay? It's been hours. We were worried you'd run into some trouble. At the Crooked Man's place.
It's nothing. I'm fine.
I guess you've been worse. You did
You
well,
would've hit him?
Sheriff.
I
I'm
thought about it.
surprised. Not that you did well,
Maybe I
but
should have
that,
hit him.
You know... I'm just glad you made it back in one piece.
It's about time you showed up. Now throw this asshole down the fucking well.
Yes, what are you waiting for?
You killed Lily!
She was my sister.
Could
What do
you?
you have to say for
Where the
yourself?
fuck do you get off?
Poor
You think
girls.
you have the right to
And what
just
about
do this
Faith?
to
What could
people?
they have
You're a
done to
fucking
deserve
crook!
This. You should be ashamed.
Shithole.
Everyone, can I have your attention? Thank you all for coming here on such short notice.
Yeah, exactly.
I know normally we'd schedule a formal hearing, but considering the circumstances, I thought it best if we do this as soon as possible.
I don't think it
The
would.
Crooked Man is charged with the murder
As
of
I
Faith
already
and...
informed your sheriff, it was Mr. Georgie Porgy who killed those women, not me.
What? It was Georgie?
Georgie.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Miss White, but I thought it would be unwise to proceed with such faulty information.
Georgie may have killed them, but you made the call.
Do I have to explain the situation to you again?
Wait a minute. So you're saying Georgie's the motherfucker who killed my sister? Well, where is he?
Yeah, you're gonna bring that shithead in too, aren't you?
Yes, Sheriff. Where is that rotten scoundrel now?
He's dead.
Is he still out there?
I sincerely hope not.
I killed him. He's dead.
He's... what?
Dead. So you see, the culprit has been punished. There's no
That
need
doesn't
for
change
this.
anything. We'll deal with it later, but right now, you're the one I'm concerned with.
You called the shots. Georgie made that perfectly clear.
In which case, you still have a lot to answer for.
You
And
got killed?
I don't.
I would be allowed to speak.
We have to read the rest of the
What
charges.
other charges?
If you'd wait a moment.
I'm well aware of my rights, Miss White.
Let her finish. Then you can have your say.
Got it?
If you insist.
You are charged with the murder of Faith and Lily, which Georgie carried out on your order, inciting violence against various members of the Fabletown community, including the attempted murder
Man,
of
you can buy
Sheriff
stuff.
Bigby Wolf,
Twice.
A misunderstanding.
aiding and providing monetary support for the forced prostitution at the Pudding and Pie. Additionally, you are charged with multiple counts of fraud, extortion, racketeering, and the illegal possession and sale of magical artifacts. Now, is there anything you would like to say?
First of all, I had nothing to do with Faith and Lily, so you can strike that one from your little record book.
Bullshit! Like hell you didn't.
Stop the charade. We know you're
Come on,
involved.
it's obvious.
And there's all the other crap he's done.
We all know who you are. We know what you've done.
Just give it up already.
The Crooked Man has committed crimes against this government and, most importantly, its citizens. These charges, if proven, are enough to justify death, upon which your body will be committed to the witching
Where it
well.
fucking belongs.
That's
So
right.
let's get
But
on
we
with it
promised
then.
you a chance to defend yourself. and I won't rob you of that right.
What the
You're
fuck?
really going
This
to
is
let him
about
talk?
justice.
It's a good one,
If
yeah.
we're ever going to pull ourselves together and make something of this town, we have to start doing things correctly. No more snap judgments, no more secrets. We are going to treat everyone fairly, even when they don't deserve it.
This is ridiculous.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Miss White. You've all met Georgie. I don't have to tell you what kind of person he was. He was a total scoundrel, lacking in any sort of moral fiber. I hired him as a favor to his family, you see. A promise kept to a dying mother.
Oh,
Are you gonna
jeez.
get to your point or what?
Georgie was working for me, yes. But he was not acting on my behalf when he killed those women. It was his business. And for whatever reason, I'm sure only he could understand, he murdered 2 of his most faithful employees. I had nothing to do with it.
Tell
This
the
is such
fucking
bullshit.
truth for
He's
once.
always been a bit of a powder keg.
Georgie seemed pretty convinced he didn't have a say in the matter.
He clearly misunderstood my intention.
Really?
I would never authorize such an act.
Any of you actually believe this bullshit?
Holly, please.
Tell them, Bigby. When you finally showed up at my door last night, wasn't I more than helpful? I answered your questions. I was willing to cooperate.
What's he talking about?
Yeah, and your goons attacked me. Did you forget that part?
They get a bit carried away sometimes, it's true. Loyal to the end. They do it because they want to protect me, as I've protected them. You understand wanting to protect what you care about, don't you? You'd do anything. You might even give up an innocent man, just to save someone.
What's he talking about?
Yeah, right. They don't do it because they want to protect you. You intimidate people. Use scare tactics. They're afraid if they don't follow orders, they'll end up dead.
Let me explain this to you. My employees are just that, hired help.
Yeah, I did. Sorry
I see
about that.
some of them are here among you. They are not my slaves. They are all free to make their own decisions, as Georgie was.
What about Lily? She wasn't free. She wasn't given a choice. Do you really think she wanted... that any of those girls wanted their lives like that?
I'm sorry, Holly. I'm sorry that your sister asked me for help, and I'm sorry that I decided against my better judgment to give her a distasteful job.
Right, and you kept them in debt so they couldn't leave.
Yeah. That's what you did to us. How you kept us all
You
in
forget
line.
it was not me who put you in that position. You all act like I'm some kind of tyrant. When your government abandoned you, left you poor and helpless, sniveling on street corners, I was there to look out for you.
Yes, but...
Wasn't I?
We've had our problems and we've made mistakes, but we don't actively exploit people to serve our own ends.
Really? What about Auntie Greenleaf? Her story is not uncommon. She left everything she had back in the homelands. Everything that matters, anyway. With nowhere else to turn, she came to me for help. And what did I do for you?
You got my tree back.
I got her tree back, and in turn we used her magic to help poor Faples get glamours. Because I helped her, she was able to make a living, provide for herself. And what did they do?
She wanted my tree destroyed, but Bigby refused.
What?
You were gonna burn her tree? Snow, why would you want that?
Is that true? I know what you're doing, and it's not gonna work. You can't manipulate us or these people. We're not here to talk
Oh,
about
we're
this.
not?
Bigby just
This
means
is
that-
important, and I'm glad it's being talked about.
You know why I asked him to destroy your tree. You were working with Crane and the Crooked Man.
It wasn't her fault.
You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You hated Crane, and you hated him for wanting to fuck you, and you being too soft to notice what he'd do to get it. It had nothing to do with a Crooked Man.
We've made some mistakes. I've made some mistakes. But believe me, I truly want what's best for this town. And that may not always be clear right away. But I want you all to know that I care deeply about all of you. And so does the sheriff.
Yeah, right.
I can't promise you perfection. No one can. But I can promise to always have your best interests at heart.
Like you did with her?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but we've been doing all this to protect you. We're trying to stop people like him.
The crooked man's been exploiting you. Exploiting your hope for a better life. You would go to him for help, and he would take that weakness and add it to his strength. And if things didn't fall exactly his way, someone would die. And I'm just sorry it took us this long to realize what he'd been doing.
They're right.
You're all still afraid of him, even now. But you needn't be. His contamination of this town is over, and those girls will have their justice.
Very good. Very
Something's
good.
gonna
The
happen.
sentiment is surely appreciated, Miss White. But it doesn't disguise the fact that these accusations are completely unfounded. The sheriff simply doesn't have a particle of evidence linking me to the...
Georgie was working for you. Bigby got a
A
confession
confession that nobody heard. Now, I'm no barrister, but I think such a statement would carry more weight if Bigby weren't the only one to whom Georgie spoke. Especially given Bigby's history.
What are you talking about?
Snow?
So, are we done?
No, we are not done.
What do you mean there's no evidence?
Maybe he's... I mean, this doesn't feel right, how we're doing this. I just
Of
need...
course it's right. This man tormented all of you for profit. Georgie
Let me
killed
just
them.
make sure I understand you. You're trying to say that I'm responsible for what Georgie did because he was working for me at the time, yes?
Yes.
Of course! Yes, you're responsible.
If I'm to blame for Georgie's mistakes, shouldn't Miss White be held accountable for Bigby's actions as well?
Like what?
How about the way he treated poor Tweedledee when he was in your custody? He was beaten to mashed apples while under your watch.
Under my watch.
I didn't kick his ass.
He's right.
Did you think we'd all just let that go?
You can't be serious.
That was different.
What?
That was Bluebeard, not me.
He was a murder suspect.
Besides, Crane was still deputy mayor when that happened. Right before you decided to kidnap him.
It was for his own protection. Oh, you're right, dear. Crane was in charge. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
That's enough.
So, you won't answer for your employees' behavior, but I must perish for
This
mine.
is completely different.
I did not order those two girls dead. It simply never happened. Georgie killed Faith and Lily. End of story. They want to scapegoat me for their own tangled ends, but they refuse to answer for their own
This
crimes.
isn't right.
Oh, please.
This isn't the point.
We'll deal with them after we deal with you.
Listen, I
The
know.
laws apply when we need them to.
Bluebeard, please.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean a certain level of privilege should be afforded to...
To who?
This is how it's always been.
We lashed our ropes to this diseased world, and ever since, which one of us has been there for you? Who filled your lives with the promise of more? Who was there while they idly played in their towers, judging you, treating you as mindless children, too stupid to command your own destiny? Without me, who will pay your rent when you're on the verge of eviction?
It is dramatic as fuck, man.
Who will dare challenge their brutality when it leaks to our dear citizens? Who will protect you from the big bad wolf? Who will be the...
Bigby? Miss White!
Oh, yeah, she
I
doesn't have to keep the
I
ribbon.
wanted to make sure I had the chance to say something.
Why don't you take a moment to catch your breath, little
What's
one?
she doing here?
I'd like to... I need to say something.
We're kind of in the middle of something.
Bluebeard.
What?
Of course. Go right ahead.
You probably don't remember me. I don't know why I was afraid to come
My
here.
dear, I don't
Just
know
shut up. You enslaved us for years. Let us hear stories about what you do. Told us we would lose everything if we stepped just one toe out of line. and we couldn't say a word about it because of these damn ribbons. But you know what? Now it's my turn to talk.
How are you?
I found Vivian's body. Did you kill her?